Hi. Okay, so we proceed to topic 3, which is classifying the arts. So at the end of this session, you will be able to categorize the different forms of the arts and cite examples of each of the forms. Now, tulad ng mga sinabi natin sa nakaraang topics, writers and philosophers have their own classification of arts. So they have different meaning, different perspective of arts. So let's study the categorization made by different experts. So let's start with Webster. So according to him, major arts involve man's skills to create works of arts that are in form, content, and execution. So they appeal to the senses of sight, hearing, and feeling. So yun yung ating mga music, painting, architecture, and sculpture. So they are more notable and conspicuous in effect. Notable means worthy of attention. Madaling makagrab na attention, it stands out. So, on the other hand, minor art lies in styling. Tulad ng nasabi ko last time, it's not always beauty. So, minor arts are inferior in degree, especially in the extent of aesthetic quality. So, yeah. So, according to Manawis, there are two general dimensions of art. So, we have fine arts and practical arts. So, let's start with fine arts. So, it is sometimes called independent art. Bakit kaya siya tinawag na independent art? Dahil independent, it can stand on its own. So, it is not very dependent on what a specific uh, place needs. So, hindi siya tulad ng practical art na kailangan alamin mo muna kung anong kailangan ng lugar na to, anong kailangan ng panahon na to, para gawin mo yung art na yon. Sa fine arts, artists have the freedom to express themselves. So, hindi sila very dependent sa kung ano yung kailangan. So, fine arts or independent arts are for aesthetic purposes. It is for enjoyment. So, entertainment, to entertain. So, yan yung ating mga painting, sculpture, architecture, literature, theater, or performing arts. So, let's move on to practical arts or tinatawag siya na utilitarian arts. Bakit siya tinawag ng utilitarian? Ibig sabihin ng utilitarian is designed to be practical rather than attractive. Designed to be practical rather than attractive. Meaning, dapat may function siya. May purpose kung bakit siya ginawa. So, ito yung development of raw materials for functional purposes such as industrial art, civic art, commercial art, graphic art, agricultural, and fishery art. Okay. So, one example of industrial art is yung ating mga machineries. Yan yung mga welding, yan. Nag-involve ng mga machines or carpentry, ano pa ba? Upholstery, and so on and so forth. Next, we have civic art. Civic art, ayan yung art that are na nakikita mo sa public places tulad ng mga monuments, yan, mga buildings, yan. Okay, so commercial art, very self-explanatory naman yan. Yan yung ginagamit na art for advertising or marketing. Next, we have graphic art. Graphic art involves drawing in mga cartoons, yan, so on and so forth. Next, agricultural. Yes, sa agricultural, meron pong art doon. So, yan yung harvesting crafts, farming, may art doon. Okay. So, bakit kaya may art doon? It is, agricultural art exists for us to appreciate, for us and the artist to appreciate what happens in our environment. Parang ganun. Next, we have fishery art. So, yes, meron art sa fishery. So, yung paggagawa nila ng fish ponds. Yan, may mga art yan, layering of the soil, and so on and so forth. So, art yon. Next, we move on to Estolas. So, he grouped arts into 6. So, let's start with visual arts. Yeah, visual is perceived by the eyes. Very self-explanatory naman yan. So, he classified it into two, graphic arts and plastic arts. Graphic, meaning 2D, two-dimensional flat. Okay? So, yan yung ating mga painting. So, yung sa commercial naman, yan yung design of books, advertisements, signs, posters, and etc. Next, plastic arts refers to the three-dimensional. So, nakikita mo yung depth ng curvature, yung mga height, yan, mga yan, yung weight, yan. So, yan yung mostly ginagamit sa architectural field, yung mga nakita nyo na, uh, yung nakikita nyo sa mga mall na may mga, ano ba yan, dummy, yung representation ng mga bahay, ganyan. Yes, and other things like landscape of gardens, parks, playgrounds, and etc. Next, performing arts. It involves movement, speaking, and gestures. So examples of that are theater, play, dance, and music. So, very self-explanatory naman yan. Next, we have literary. Literary meaning it involves things that are for writing. Okay, so a product of writing. We have short stories, novels, poetry, and dramas. Next, we have popular. Popular is categorized as gay or lively. Gay meaning nagbibring siya ng happiness sa atin. It entertains us. So we have film, newspaper, magazines, radio, and television. Next, we have gustatory. Gustatory is the sense of taste. Okay? Gustatory art of the cuisine. So, it involves skills in food preparation. So, very aware naman tayo dyan. Ngayon, sa very modernized na yung ating mundo, ang daming nagsusulputan ng mga food art. Kahit nga yung kutsinta, yung puto, may art na. Di ba? Kung nakikita nyo yan ngayong mga trending na mga pagkain ngayon, very artistic na, yung mga upe pandesal. So, yeah, yan, gustatory art of the cuisine. Next, we have the creative arts. So, it is sometimes called applied arts. Now, what is the meaning of applied arts? It is applying design or decoration to practical arts to make them aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So, yan yung decorations natin, yung mga houses, offices, cars, and other structures. Next, we move on to the two Sanchez, Abad and Zhao. So he grouped arts into five. So we have visual arts, katulad din siya nung kay Estolas. So graphic arts and plastic arts. So yan yung includes drawing, painting, photography, and etc. So 2D, two-dimensional, very flat. Yung plastic arts naman ay yun pa rin, 3D pa rin. So it is yung mga uh, crafts, designs, dress, industrial design, costume, theater design, mga and so on and so forth. Next, we have literature. So, tulad din siya kanina, doon sa literary. So, this include drama, essay, prose, fiction, poetry, and miscellaneous. Miscellaneous is not formally classed as literature. So, yan yung history, biography, journals, diaries, and so on and so forth. Next, we have music. Music, yeah, yung vocal, instrumental, music combined with other music such as opera, yan, musical comedy, and so on and so forth. Next, we have drama and theater. So, alam nyo naman na yan, tragedy, melodrama, comedy, or miscellaneous. Next, we have dance. So, this include ethnologic, social, or ballroom dances, ballet, modern, or musical comedy, and so on and so forth. Next, we move on to Barrios. So, he classified arts into two. So, according to purpose and according to media in form. So, dito muna tayo sa according to purpose. So, kanina ko pa sinasabi, yung practical arts or useful arts, ito yung produce artifacts, tools, and utensils used in doing household or everyday chores such as basket, ano ba, yung mga ceramic natin, yan, mga art yan. So, yung mga vases, ano pa ba yung mga art na nakikita nyo for practical? Yung mga baso, lahat ng mga yan. So, yan ay under practical or useful arts. Next, we have liberal arts. So, it involves the development of man's intellectual reasoning. So, yan yung mathematics, astronomy, grammar, so on and so forth. Next, we have fine arts. So, yun nga sinasabi ko, fine arts ay independent. It is for entertainment. Okay? So, it is for satisfaction and relaxation of man's mind and spirit. Okay, so yun nga, human creative activity. So, an expression lang siya talaga. So, we have examples, painting, sculpture, architecture, and so on and so forth. Next, major arts are characterized by their actual or potential expressiveness and by a purely disinterested purpose. So, sa major arts, ang ano talaga niya is, ang goal niya ay ano ba yung um, ano ba yung gusto mong i-express. So, hindi talaga siya yung parang tulad ni practical arts na may purpose talaga. Okay? So, ito yung mga ating yung pag-express mo ng music, poetry, and sculpture. So, minor arts are connected with practical uses and purposes. So, yan yung mga interior decorations, yung porcelain, yan yung mga ceramics ata, I think. Okay. Next, we have according to media and forms. So, we have five. So, plastic arts are developed through sense of sight. Okay, so painting, sculpture, architecture. Next, phonetic arts from the root word phonemes. Phonemes is the basic unit of sound. Okay, so phonetic arts are based on sounds and words. Okay, so we have music, drama, and literature. Next, we have kinetic, rhythmic, movement, yung mga yan. So, dance, and so on and so forth. Pure arts utilize only one medium of expression. So, sound in music, color in painting, mga yan. And we have the mixed arts, a combination of two or more media. So, one example is opera. So, it is a combination of music, poetry, and drama. So, yun lang. Very self-explanatory naman to. So, you might as well read it and research more on the examples. Okay? So, I'll see you in topic 4.